mechanical contracting, and energy. But most importantly, I have an in-depth understanding of planning, forecasting, finances, managing the budgets of small organizations up to and including large public corporations. I currently serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission, where you can see firsthand how I research and consider each issue, always listening and respecting to your input. I'll give you a couple of examples of how I vote. I voted against the Mountainside apartment project based upon the vocal opposition of the local residents. I listened to the residents. I was instrumental in the development and strength of a stringent ordinance managing community housing, also known as sober living homes, thus protecting your neighborhoods. I voted against the Target apartment complex due to the developer's flat refusal to make any changes. Changes that were simply necessary to meet our town building codes. No more, no less. And I continue to this day to fight for the reasonable implementation and sensible management, not prohibition, of 5G. 5G broadband, safeguards that are necessary to protect your property values, and the list goes on. Having retired a couple of years ago, I began to attend the town council meetings and recognized quickly that my experience could benefit the council by bringing a deeper understanding of management and finances to the council, helping the council to focus on its real task. That's representing and supporting the town residents based on facts and data, not emotions. I'm a strong advocate of servant leadership. I'm on the Neighborhood Property Owners Association and also the chairman of the Committee of Architecture, the NPOA, that oversees the architectural aspects of over 4,400 properties in town. I'm a trail host for the Sonoran Conservancy, and I'm a recent graduate of Fountain Hills Leadership Academy. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, Fountain Hills is pretty nice, but does have a few challenges. I'd like to help address those challenges and resolve them without compromising any of the beauty, charm, small town feeling that Fountain Hills is known for worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Matthew Corrigan.
Thank you. Last but not least, I hope, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and the Cultural and Civil Affairs in Fountain Hills for the opportunity to be here. And I will tell you that one of my qualifications, for 30 years, I worked for 2 Fortune 500 companies as a district sales manager. Why is that significant? Because the most important thing I learned in all of that was that listening to my customers and responding to their needs and their problems really brought something home, and that is that I could provide solutions to these problems. And in doing so, they became more successful. And as a result of that, I became more successful too. Also, I owned and operated my own small business. And what that taught me is the hard work behind owning your own small business and the competitive attitude and strength it takes to stay in the market at a competitive price with a competitive product while solving customers' problems. Why is that unique? I know I can bring that same problem-solving attitude here to Fountain Hills. What do I believe in? I believe in traditional American values, which simply means that everyone has a First Amendment right to speak, whether at town council or anywhere else. And I support that, and I applaud those who brought back the invocation before each town council meeting. And I'll tell you another thing, quite frankly, my second interest and strength is bringing back public safety in a stronger way. Patrolling about residential neighborhoods for one. Strong, stable economic development with small business and economic vitality by roads and structures first, that projects later. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the question segment of the evening. Question number 1, and before we begin that, I just want to remind the candidates we have 2 minutes for the opening statements. Questions, response time will be limited to 90 seconds. Okay? Question number 1. According to U.S. Census data, the town's population was 22,489 in 2010 and 23,880 in 2020. The median age is heavily skewed towards retirees at 59.7 years old. The Phoenix metropolitan area grew from 4,192,887 residents in 2010 to 4,845,832 residents in 2020, with a median age of 36.7. The voter-approved general plan lists a variety of strategies aimed at increasing the population in order to sustain existing and future commercial businesses. What do you believe is the ideal population for Fountain Hills, and what strategies would you employ to achieve the goal of increased population as set forth by the general plan? Henry Mail, you're first.
Great. I think it's imperative that we find a way to encourage, get people here. We are aging out as an economic basis. We exist solely or mostly on sales tax, so we need to get people to move here. How do we do that? Well, we need to provide jobs and we need to provide housing that is affordable for those starting out in life. I read the other day, the council, someone said there were X amount of houses under $300,000 or $400,000. But for the individual or the family starting out, that's still a cost-prohibitive price point for a monthly payment. So what we have to do is figure ways to do it. Now, is it high-density structures? That's a consideration. I think what we need to do is plan accordingly, find the right areas to put the right structures, the right buildings, the right developments. We have a wonderful school district. We need to promote that. We need to fill the schools with the people. Let's give a reason for the families to come here. Right now, there's only 0.02% of the people in the town who look for work. If we're trying to encourage businesses to grow, which is an attraction for family, we need to get people to be able to work here as well. It's not one hand or the other, it's a combination of both. I hope that's what we can do and what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Art Tolis.
Okay, thank you. So, we do have an issue with the state share revenues and the competition we have from other communities. But the state share revenues and sales tax revenues is what drives this community. And those are currently the options we have. Primary property tax has failed in our community many times. We do sit right now in a good position that we have no outstanding bonding right now. So if we ever get to a position where we need to look at a possible bond for the street maintenance, things of that nature, that's still out there for revenue sources. But if we're going to grow and we're going to take care of our infrastructure, we're going to take care of our community as a whole, the Target Plaza development, in my opinion, and I was in support of that, is going to be a beautiful, beautiful complex when it's done. And the two main areas we need to focus on is that development on Shea and finishing our downtown. I've always advocated for Fountain Hills being the Beverly Hills of Arizona. Whether our average age is 59, 60, or 65, 70, we are bringing wealth to this community. This community is a unique community and it's special, and we need to keep it that way. So my role on this council is going to do everything in my power to make sure that our revenues are strong, that we can maintain our community, the infrastructure, so that we can have great roads, that we can have the amenities that families will want to move to. So that's the focus right now. I think 35,000 is probably a good cap in regards to what we're looking at for long-term growth of our community. Otherwise, I think that it will be too congested for what the needs and wants of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Gail Earl.
So according to MAG, our build-out would be 26,100 by 2060. According to our town manager and other people, they say our max build-out is 35,000. So what is the real number? We do need to find out what the real number is of our build-out as our town stands today. Then we can be more specific with our projections with the general plan and the strategic plan. And with regards to the age demographic, so it was 54 10 years ago, now it's 59.7. I'm sorry, 14 years ago, that was in 2010. It's a benefit to our town, I see, as our community is being older. Many people have disposable income. And on an average, it is an affluent town. So I don't want to say that's a bad thing. And we have many